he was an educator back then, and at that time there
Horace
were
Mann? Was it Horace Mann?
Mann.
Yeah.
There were all of the states were putting in
Amendments.
constitutional amendments
Yeah.
for education, and Horace Mann was the one pushing it. So they had this almost the same identical phrase in all these constitutions.
Yeah.
So for original intent, it's going back to where those words came from, I thought was very important.
Sure, sure. But you spent a lot of time on that. I remember that was a 3-week bench trial, and then you spent a lot of time writing the
month bench trial.
What?
1 month bench trial.
Oh, it seemed that way, I guess.
It was that way.
Yeah. Did you like being a judge, a PJ, or a senior judge? I imagine you like being a PJ most.
I like being the PJ. In order, I like being the PJ. I like being a commission judge. The senior judge was okay.
Just okay. Okay.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. You're a day worker.
Yeah. You're on an assembly line.
Well, you're on an assembly line, but you're not part of the governance of the church. You're not part of the governance of the court.
Okay.
You're not a commission judge, so you don't have a vote on anything.
Yeah. Do you have any reflections on how the Commonwealth Court was run in terms of procedures? And those rules of procedure were established by Judge Bowman and the early judges of the Commonwealth Court. Would you change?
I think this is good. What I found is the Commonwealth Court procedure is much more flexible than when I was over at the Superior Court.
Okay.
And it was always flexible. I mean, Chris would come in, or even you, but I remember Chris more doing this. People would file an original appeal, and then she'd say, no, this is the original action. And she'd say, no, this is an appeal, or vice versa. She'd just move them around. And we were very practical about doing the cases. I don't think we were rules. We followed to the rules to where they made sense, as long as they made sense.
Yeah. I should just mention that Chris Brown was the deputy prothonotary for several years and really knew the rules of procedure better than anybody else I ever worked with. She just was outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, she would just move them around, and I go, how can we do this? They didn't follow it. Yeah, I'm moving it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You have anything else you want to comment on in terms of your time on the court, interaction with the other judges, and anything cases you really didn't like?
Since this is history, I started going before the court when Bowman was still there.
Yeah.
When Menser, Wilkinson, Kramer,
Cromlech,
Blatt, Barry I knew from Pittsburgh, Dave Craig I knew from, but I appeared before all. The only two I didn't appear before of the original 9 was, let's see, Mandarino, who had left.
You left, yeah.
And Barbieri, who
left also.
Yeah, but with Barbieri, I served with him. And when he was a senior judge, he became court administrator, then was a senior judge. Bowman was scary. He always scared me as president.
Well, he was 6'3" or 4", and he could scare anybody.
But back then, after every session, once a session, the Allegheny County Bar would have a meet and greet with the Commonwealth Court judges up in the Bar Association conference room. And he was a great guy once you got him up there. I remember one time he just chewed me out royally.
Upstairs.
He chewed me out in court.
Yeah.
I mean, I said something stupid. I said the law was clear in this area until it was messed up by, and it was their case. That was it.
That was it, yeah. Yeah.
But the Commonwealth Court, I think, was very good because even, I think a lot of those judges had a lot of experience in local law and in government law.
Yeah.
They were the original 7, I think, were appointed for that.
Yeah.
And Judge Barry was county solicitor of Allegheny, and Judge Craig was city solicitor for about 18, no, less than that. He went down to become public safety director.
Yeah.
And so there was this great depth of knowledge of governmental affairs and how government worked, and which was really helped the court get established. I don't think that many people go into governmental law anymore. I don't think, I think the people that are coming now, not to their fault, just doesn't have the depth of experience in local government law.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't, even then, as a job, I mean, the experience that I got in the city solicitor's office just matched the Commonwealth Court. I mean, I did everything within and I think Judge Keck probably did that. Judge Barry probably did. I knew Judge Wilkinson and did a lot of stuff up in the State College area. I'm missing one in Chester.
Judge Rogers.
Judge Rogers did a lot of municipal work.
Yep.
But I just don't think people do that work anymore.
Yeah.
I can remember people really aren't concerned about corporate governmental law anymore. I think one of the big mistakes attorneys make is just assuming the government has the power to do what they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I don't think it does, but they don't raise it.
I'll just mention a couple other judges who had real impact on the court. Judge Barbieri in workers' compensation had a great influence on the law and really moved the law to become more pro-claimant. Also, Judge Rogers and Judge Simpson have written a lot concerning zoning law, made a real contribution to the law in those areas. Yeah.
Yeah, there were people that had that experience. And quite frankly, I did a lot of, like when I was in the court, I wrote to the Public Utility Commission.
Yeah.
A lot of tax cases, because we had a lot of tax cases coming out of Pittsburgh. And if I didn't have those cases in Pittsburgh, like for public utility law, I wouldn't have understood it. I mean,
that's right.
I mean, Pittsburgh was always active. And so you have to have a basic framework.
That's
and then on the tax cases, the two of the three cases that went to the US Supreme Court were tax cases.
Yeah.
And so, the experience is what's really, really important.
At the ground level, at the litigation level, then you can understand it when that area of the law comes in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a mindset. I mean, each one of these different worlds has a different, well, not mindset, point of view, or a world. They operate in the law, but they have their own separate ways of operation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been great. I've spent an hour with you, or an hour, maybe 59 minutes, and I think we're supposed to finish after an hour. I really appreciate you spending the time. And This is going to
Okay,
be,
when are we gonna do your interview?
oh, I don't know.
I think we should do your interview and Chris's interview.
I will mention that.
I want to know, I want to ask the question, and I'm going to get a list of the judges, and I'm going to ask comment on every one of them.
Really? I'll think about it.
You,
I'll think.
no, that's your obligation. You were there. When did you start at the court?
Well, I started in 73 with Judge Wilkinson for 1 year, and then I came back to the court in 84. So from 84 to 07, I was.
Well, you were around. You were in Harrisburg, and
Yeah.
you knew it all. And when did Chris come?
She was a Bowman clerk, and she worked for the Labor Relations Board for a while, and or the administrative agency dealing with labor relations. And then she came to the court in mid 80s, I think.
Yeah, you could tell us what like Edwin Barker is, and Barbush, and Bowman, and all. You have all those inside stories.
Yeah, I have the inside stories, but I don't want to defame even those people who are no longer with us, even though they can't sue me.
But you can clean it up. But no history is complete unless you know the people behind the thrones, so to speak.
Okay, I'll think about it.
You're not thinking about it. I'm going to get Bill Lederer to do the interview. I'll do the interview.
I prefer Bill Lederer to do the interview.
I'll do the interview.
I'll think about it.
Why you can't think about it?
Thank you very much, Judge, and I appreciate your time. And as I was preparing for this, I thought of what I said at my retirement dinner, which you probably remember. I apologized to Judge Ledbetter, who was the president judge at that time. And I mentioned to her that I had been with the court 21 or 22 years, but I hadn't worked that long because I had spent 2 years on the phone with you.
Yeah.
You got up and really complained about that. Hey.
Well, you know what? That was the best 2 years of your time at the Commonwealth Court.
I learned a lot. Absolutely. I learned a lot. And we'll
it was freeform, wasn't it?
It was what?
Freeform.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Tell Tony I said hello.
Say hello to Sarah.
Okay, will do. Bye-bye.
Over and out.